Hey everybody, what's up from Pokemon Classics, reminding you all that the classics never go out of style. Today, we're breaking down the top 5 news stories in Pokemon, along with some of my own personal thoughts and commentary on each one. That is my goal on this channel, after all, is to keep you all informed whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly. Also, as is tradition on this series, don't forget to stick around to the end of the video for my top 5 content recommendations. These are some of the best YouTube videos of the month, and I'd highly encourage you to give each and every one of them a watch. Anyway, let's dive into our first story. First up, let's talk about Pokemon Day 2025. Every year, Pokemon celebrates its birthday on February 27th with a series of product promotions and project announcements, and this year's Pokemon Day is just around the corner. While many of this year's events are still shrouded in secrecy, we have a few confirmed announcements so far. First is a new anime coming to the official Pokemon YouTube channel called Dragonite the Mail Carrier. This anime, directed by Makoto Shinkai, follows a young girl named Hannah who's always dreamed of becoming a professional courier. She gets her chance, however, when she and Fuecoco find an anonymous letter and track it back to its sender, Rio, who is hoping to get it delivered to his father in time for his birthday. It seems that this anime is the equivalent of a cross-country road trip across different Pokemon regions with plenty of adventure and captivating visuals along the way. The Pokemon Company has also announced a few special Pokemon Day stamped cards for 2025. Last year, the TCG commemorated Pokemon Day 2024 with a Surledge card, complete with Galaxy holofoil background and edges. According to PokeBeach, this year's card will be a regular holofoil Sylveon from Prismatic Evolutions distributed through participating leagues. It will also be available through select retailers that sell Pokemon, including the Pokemon Center, Best Buy, and GameStop. And considering this is the year of Eevee, there will also be a stamped Eevee promo available through retailers as part of a 2-pack blister set for $9.99. Considering the popularity of both Eevee and Prismatic Evolutions, I'd have to think that this will be a very popular product when it arrives. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know what your thoughts are on this year's Pokemon Day announcements, and whether you have any theories or speculations on what else the Pokemon Company might have in store for us. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Speaking of promo cards, the Pokemon Company will also be releasing its 2024 illustration contest promos in February. For those of you unaware, Pokemon often hosts an annual illustration contest with competitors vying for the opportunity to have their artwork produced into real cards. Back in September, Pokemon announced the winners of 3 different categories, including Best Standard Illustration, Best EX Card Illustration, and 1 grand prize winner. They also awarded prizes to a number of first-place runner-ups and judges' honorable mention awards. Anyway, look for these illustration contest promos to be available via the Pokemon Center website starting on February 21st and running all the way through December 31st of 2025. According to the Pokemon Center's website, collectors must make an eligible purchase and enter the code DRAW2024US at checkout to be eligible. They'll also be distributed at select leagues on Pokemon Day, giving all the more reason to go out there and support your local gaming stores. In other promo news, McDonald's is currently running their Pokemon TCG promotion as well. These dragon-themed Happy Meals debuted on January 21st and will run through February 24th. The boxes themselves feature one of 4 different dragons. Yes, I count Charizard as a dragon. And each contains a 4-card booster pack with reprints of 15 different cards possible, edited with the new McDonald's numbering and iconic confetti holofoil pattern used by previous McDonald's sets. In addition to the cards, Happy Meals also come with some Pokemon stickers and a double-sided poster. Personally, I'm a big fan of these McDonald's promotions. The cards are not particularly rare or valuable, but can be a great way to introduce kids to the TCG without having to spend a lot of money or having to navigate the product shortages and rampant scalping currently gripping the community. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know what you think of this year's McDonald's cards and if you plan to pick up the illustration contest promos in the next few weeks. Next, we have another TCG update, and that's the announcement of a new Prismatic Evolutions product. Recently, modern Pokemon cards have been incredibly hard to find, with product shortages hitting most major retailers. In fact, a number of chaotic and sometimes violent scalping situations have gone viral in recent weeks, with some unruly customers fighting over Blooming Waters boxes from Costco stores across the United States. It's not just physical retail stores either. The Pokemon Center website sold out of all of its pre-releases for its newest upcoming set, Journey Together, in a matter of just minutes, and hasn't had any of its other recent releases in stock for weeks. some for months. Pokemon addressed the situation with an official announcement promising to increase their printing volume and restock popular sets like Prismatic Evolutions as soon as possible. And as part of this strategy, the Pokemon Company International announced a Prismatic Evolutions Super Premium Collection box, which is scheduled to release on May 16th. This box will include 15 Prismatic Evolutions packs and a unique EVEX promo card, along with a playmat, card sleeves, and a deck box. Interestingly, this is the same Eevee illustration released earlier in Japan and features Eevee surrounded by fruit with a rainbow-colored border. Although this box isn't set to release for another few months, I suspect this will be another product with essentially limitless demand. As mentioned earlier, Pokemon has already declared this year the year of Eevee, and it seems that the general public has fully embraced the Eeveelution hype. Many of the Eeveelution cards in Prismatic Evolutions have been selling for obscene amounts of money, and it seems that this enthusiasm won't be subsiding anytime soon. Anyway, I toss the question over to you all. Have you experienced any difficulties obtaining products in the last few months? And do you see this new level of demand being temporary or the new normal for Pokemon moving forward? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Continuing our discussion about product shortages, we have an update from the Pokemon Center about a new queuing system to assist with periods of high website traffic. It appears this new update creates a digital waiting room in which users must keep the page open without refreshing or moving to another web page. Presumably, this is to help mitigate the growing number of bots being deployed to monitor and harvest the site for newly restocked products. These bots have become increasingly commonplace, creating an artificial barrier for casual collectors and Pokemon enthusiasts. Anyway, after waiting in line, the Pokemon Center will eventually redirect users to the full website where they can do their shopping, hopefully without the instability previously seen during past release dates. Apparently, similar systems have already been in place in Japan for years. However, this particular queuing system has never been implemented here in the United States. It also comes after two of Pokemon's most highly anticipated sets, Prismatic Evolutions and Journey Together, and before the next major English set release, which goes up for pre-orders in March. Clearly, this will be an important test to see if this new system can keep up with the network traffic and prevent bots from claiming all the available products. Personally, I welcome this effort. However, knowing very little about the technology and software that goes into bot accounts or the safeguards against them, I suspect this system will be minimally effective in deterring scalpers and alleviating the product shortages that we're currently seeing. But I hope I'm wrong about that. Anyway, what do you guys think about Pokemon Center's new queuing system? Will this make a discernible difference in how the website functions, or are we likely to see further technical issues or stability problems for those that it's intended to help? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Finally, we'll wrap up this month's news with the growing controversy surrounding Pokemon Playtest Proto-Type cards. Last year, a series of early Proto-Type cards emerged from the personal collection of one of the Pokemon TCG's original creators, Takumi Akabane. These cards were allegedly used to playtest the TCG before its release in 1996. Shortly after their discovery, they were purchased by various middlemen, authenticated by CGC, and sold to collectors throughout a variety of auction houses and consignment services. However, the legitimacy of these cards was recently called into question by PFM, Pokemon Flying Master, published an article on E4 forums bringing to light potentially damning information about the authenticity of these cards. Using high-resolution images and specific exposure settings, PFM was able to isolate the dot matrices in the card's ink, revealing printer metadata, including the serial number of the printer used and the apparent dates in which they were printed. Most of these cards that were selling for thousands of dollars appear to have been forgeries printed in 2024, not 1996, as originally thought. Now, this is a messy situation for a number of reasons, but first among them is it's hard to unwind the collateral damage with so many layers of parties involved. Some auction houses and consignment services have already stepped up to offer buyers full refunds, while others have redirected buyers back to CGC, the grading company responsible for authenticating these cards. However, this is where things get even more complicated. According to their terms of service, CGC offers a financial guarantee on the cards that they've graded and authenticated, and while CGC has officially acknowledged the situation and encouraged buyers to send their cards back for review, they haven't yet indicated what specific sort of remedy or reimbursement they'll actually offer. I recently made an in-depth video on this topic, which I'll leave linked down in the description below. But anyway, I welcome your thoughts on the situation. Who do you ultimately think is responsible for refunding buyers, and will this have any long-term effects on any of the companies involved? Well guys, before I unveil my top 5 videos of the month, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. I put hours and hours into each and every one of these videos, and your support goes a long way in keeping me motivated and staying on the grind. But anyway, I truly appreciate you all for watching, so let's roll into the top 5. First on this week's list, we welcome back SMPratte. Scott hasn't posted a new YouTube video in months, but he recently returned to the grandma's basement to address the Playtest controversy, or as he cleverly calls them, the Proto-Hype cards. In this video, Scott offers his insights and precautions when it comes to market FOMO, particularly when markets are as volatile as they have been recently. He also outlines the conditions that lead to risky decision-making and major collecting mistakes. It's a great reflection rooted in experience and nostalgia for simpler times when the Pokemon community was smaller and interest was more organic and authentic. I know I appreciated Scott's take on this, and I encourage you all to give it a watch too. Next up is another playtest response video, but this time it's coming from James over at ZandGEmporium. Now, the title of this video pretty much summarizes it, but ZandGEmporium would be refunding the $144,000 of playtest cards recently sold through their consignment service. As far as I'm aware, ZandG was the first company to officially announce any sort of refund process, and James and his team should be commended for their immediacy and transparency. Rather than a generic press release, James filmed a 6-minute video in his car, as he often does, explaining the situation and his priority to make sure ZandG customers are taken care of. It's refreshing to see this type of ethical consideration, and one of the reasons why I'm a fan. Go give it a watch, and consider consigning with ZandG if you're looking for a trustworthy consignment service. Okay, this next one is really more about the creator rather than any specific video, but I wanted to highlight one of my favorite commentators in this space, and that's Roxandy. Now, if you're not familiar with his channel, Roxandy covers various Pokemon controversies with a mix of insightful commentary and some Gen Z humor. Personally, I think he finds the sweet spot between humor and drama, not being too vulgar or provocative, yet still making me laugh while exploring contemporary issues. Also, his takes are often quite reasonable, acknowledging the complexities and nuances of most issues rather than seeing the world through the lens of dichotomous thinking, as so many do. Definitely go check out Roxandy's channel. You won't regret it. This next video is a spicy one from Danny Phantump talking about product shortages, the state of the Pokemon market, and his lower than normal allocation numbers from distribution. Throughout his 30-minute monologue, Danny expresses his frustrations with the number of opportunistic businesses suddenly jumping on the Pokemon bandwagon, many of whom seem to be relying too heavily on current market momentum to sustain their businesses in the long term. He also reveals how this sudden surge in interest has also adversely affected allocations for long-standing LGSs like his own. Anyway, I appreciate Danny's sincerity here, looking out for the long-term interests of the community and shining some needed light on important issues in the broader market ecosystem. Please give this video a watch and show Danny some love. Finally, I wanted to spotlight a video from the BulbaStore featuring a massive collection purchase. Unlike his usual vendor POV videos, this one is more of a vlog-style format, looking through some of his recently acquired inventory from a $200,000 collection purchase. I don't know about you, but I never get tired of collection videos and exploring the variety of items and collection pieces that people have amassed over the years, and this video is no exception. There's literally something for everyone here. Sealed products, slabs, promotional items, high-end singles, vintage booster packs, the list goes on and on. Anyway, if you've ever wondered about the BulbaStore's inventory or how it's sourced, check out this video. This video is for you. Well guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Breaking News, where we break down some of the most important Pokemon news stories each and every month. Let me know your thoughts on these stories down in the comments below, and if there are any other major news stories that I missed, definitely send them my way. Anyway guys, I'm Pokemon Classics, reminding you all that the classics never go out of style. Thanks for spending your time with me here today, and we'll see y'all with the next video. Till then, stay well everybody. Bye.